And we've got Rick Grenell, our Special Advisor for Foreign Policy and National Security. Rick, first an update from you on the campaign, the election, and then I want to get your thoughts, too, on some of these new plans to, one, not provide the vaccine to all Americans, just enough of it. That came from Zeke Emanuel, who's advising Biden. And then today, another advisor saying, let's do a 6-week shutdown and we'll just borrow the money from China, I guess. But first, an update on the campaign and the election and stuff.
Well, look, I think we're seeing examples throughout the states, certainly in Nevada and a variety of other states, where we're highlighting discrepancies. And there seems to be, from the governments, the register of voters for the counties, a real disinterest in looking at the details. I can tell you in Clark County in Nevada, we have a register of voter head, a guy named Joe Gloria, who says, I'm not capable of investigating all of these questions that are being raised about voters from outside of Nevada breaking the residency requirements, or individuals who are voting who are clearly dead. He has literally taken the position that he doesn't have the ability to investigate, that he has to keep to this timeline of certifying the elections by a specific date. And therefore, he is pushing forward with processes that are reckless, knowing that they're reckless, but he's willing to say, I have to do it, I have no choice because I've got to meet this deadline. We also, when we filed our court documents, asking the judge to look at this machine that is counting votes by comparing signatures and throwing certain signatures out if they don't match. We have right now a judge who is saying that he also can't stop the counting because he's under the mandate from the Nevada legislature to finish counting by a certain date. So literally what we have are government agencies and judges saying, my hands are tied, I know it's sloppy, but there's nothing I can do about it because I have to certify this election. Now that is dangerous, to think that the timing issue is what's being, what is driving all of these decisions. And as somebody who has been on the ground in Nevada watching this, I think that people who vote legally should be really outraged that the system is sloppy. We've known it's sloppy, and government officials are just saying, oh, well, nothing we can do about it.
Hey, Rick, this is Jay. I'm in Washington. I know you're out in Nevada. Let me ask you this. We're seeing a lot of the cases and there's new cases being filed, and not all by the campaign. Now we're starting to see citizen voters starting to file their lawsuits. And I wanted to get your reaction to this. I think some of these are going to mature, at least come to oral arguments, probably as early as next week. I mean, definitely as early as next week, where at least the constitutional arguments may well be addressed, which is obviously important to the American Center for Law and Justice. What is your sense of timing out there? I mean, you were talking about how there's this rush. The courts just seem to be foreclosing a lot of this. Is that what I'm picking up?
Yeah, I think that there's a belief from government agencies and the courts that we can try to do what we can before this, looming deadline to certify the election, and that seems to be what's driving this. And I think you're right, Jay, that individuals are going to start filing court cases and legal challenges because they feel disenfranchised. And this is going to go on long past the deadline for the election being certified. We've got to clean this up. There's no question about it. I think that there's a recognition that there is a problem, but separately, are we going to be able to clean up these problems and adjust the current election? I think remains to be seen, because we seem to have a whole bunch of people on the other side that just say, no matter what recklessness is going on, we've got to hurry up and certify an election.
Yeah, it's one of the things we've been talking about internally here is what, when you go to court, what is the remedy you're asking for? That's why I tell everybody it's a Herculean task, not impossible, but the dominoes, everything has to line up and fall in a particular order. And and I know we're only got a minute and 36 seconds left here. Let me ask Rick one other question. What is the voter among the president's supporters out there? What's kind of the attitude, the feeling right now? What are you picking up? I know you're dealing with them.
Listen, people are frustrated. People are really frustrated because they're seeing this anecdotal evidence. They're seeing lists of people that have been disenfranchised or that have irregularities to their votes. People see the evidence, and so they're frustrated that the media is ignoring it. They're frustrated that government officials are racing to approve the election. There's a sense that, there's a problem, but nobody's willing to do anything about it. And that creates a credibility gap. And I think that's my concern is that when voters, everyday Americans feel like the system is not working for them or corrupt, that's a problem across the board that's going to really affect their lives on a daily basis.
Very good. Thanks, Rick.